very much welcome to another episode of Nurses Outside the Box. This
Thank
is honestly amazing. It's an amazing time for nurses. It's amazing, right? Changes for nurses with everything that's going on. And I'm so honored to have you on the call here. So Jackie Berton, can you actually tell us a little bit? Welcome first. I want to welcome you first. It's an honor.
you. Thanks for having me.
It is, yeah, awesome. Tell us a little bit. We'd love to hear your story. I love to always start with stories. You are a nurse practitioner. You are in the midst of everything that's going on with COVID-19 as well. But I would love to hear a little bit more about your story. Where did you come from? And yeah, how did you decide to do this?
Yeah. Well, I grew up in a home with my mom as a nurse. And so I actually did not think that I would go into nursing. I actually thought I wouldn't because of the stories she would tell. But I went to college starting out with exercise and sports science major. And after a little bit, I just felt like it was maybe more of a hobby and maybe not something that would have a really reliable job future. And so that's when I switched to nursing. And I worked as a nurse in the hospital, pretty large hospital in Fort Collins, Colorado. And I did that. And then I started going back to school for my nurse practitioner a few years in. So about 3 years in, and then that took another 3 years. So I got my nurse practitioner in 2008. And then I have been working, I did primary care and I do urgent care. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. So yes, definitely in the midst of this COVID stuff, conducting tests and seeing it firsthand.
Before we go there, because I'd love to hear your story about too. Why the switch from nurse to nurse practitioner? What motivated you to do that?
You know, my mom was a floor nurse for several years, and I just saw that it was really hard on her body. And she did a lot of shift work. She still, had struggled with sleep. And I just thought, I don't know that I could, it's very physically hard, besides the mental, toughness you have to do nursing. Mm-hmm. And so, are you still there?
Yeah, we're still here.
Okay. Sorry. I just got a call.
Yeah, you're still here. You're so
good. Okay. So I, decided that I would like to go on and I wanted to have more autonomy and more.
Jackie, we don't see you right now though. So let me see if I can see you guys.
Oh, here we go. Oh,
there you go. Yes.
Okay. Sorry. I think that I had a call coming in. Sorry. So, so I decided I wanted to go back to school because I wanted to have more, I knew like as a nurse in the hospital, you just kind of do what you're told to do. And there are a lot of times I just thought, oh, I would do this differently, or I knew ahead of time what to do, but I just didn't have the, credentials to do it. And so I just thought that I would be able to make more of an impact if I went back. And then again, just thought hospital nursing is, there's a lot of flexibility in nursing. There's a lot of things a lot of directions you can go. And so I just thought that going on, even if I didn't like it, I thought it's not going to hurt to have more education. And so that's when I decided to go back.
I love it. So with all that going back and now being a nurse practitioner, what is one of your absolute passions in your practice? Which you would say, like, I could talk about hours, I could talk for hours about this specific thing. What is that for you?
Honestly, at work, I see so many people that are sick. And so that has prompted me to be really passionate about the proactive and preventative side of medicine. And so even though I work at urgent care and I mostly, treat acute illnesses and injuries, I love to talk about health and wellness. And when I did do primary care, I could never stay on time with patients because I just didn't have enough time to address all those important things. And so that's kind of why I like to do that now in my own free time. So I kind of, I guess I combine what I've learned and my knowledge, and I take that into my own personal life and what I share on social media and just what I share in day-to-day relationships. And so I could talk for hours about health and wellness, and particularly gut health. I really love the science behind that.
So give us a short one, because we won't have hours, but give us a short one, about 5 minutes or a few minutes, actually saying about why are you so passionate about gut health, and what changes have you seen? I'd love to hear.
Yeah. Well, I kind of have a personal story behind it, so I'll try to keep it short. But I I've always been around just standard medicine, not, Chinese medicine, Eastern medicine. I never learned any of that. I grew up with a nurse mom. And so everything was very much the medical way. And so it was until a few years ago that I was having some of my own health issues after having my fourth daughter. And I was doing all the right things. I was eating and right and exercising, and I just couldn't get back to where I was, like, mentally, physically. I struggled with it. And so I started to research a little bit, and then I stumbled upon, and also just through a friend, kind of heard about gut health, but that was new since I went to school, because I graduated in 2008. And so I've been a nurse practitioner for 12 years. And so this science is really newer in the past 5 to 10 years. So I didn't learn about it in school. So I really began to dig in, and I just thought, wow, it's so profound that it can affect your immune system, your metabolism, your mood, and along with those just gut issues like digestion and, GI problems and stuff. So I started to research it, but then I started to address my own gut health and saw a lot of improvement. And I just thought, this is really awesome. And, I want to share this with other people.
Nice. And and that's what you've been doing, right? You've been sharing it with other people and making.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it's not, I work for a company and I work in urgent care. So it's not something I can pull inside my, with my patient, patient to provider relationship, but it's definitely something I share publicly with friends and family and on social media, that yes, I have a passion for health and wellness. And I do have a little wellness group that I started for social media, where I can share just information I've learned or read and recipes and stuff like that. So yeah, I definitely taken it to more at this point in my life. It's more of a hobby, but it's definitely a passion too.
So let's be a total nurse outside the box for a moment. Let's go there for a moment, because I'd love to hear from you. And so you've had this whole story, right? With doing all these phenomenal things, becoming a nurse practitioner, now really working with lots of people as in that role, and then totally going into this gut health story
Right.
and journey for yourself. When you would see your practice evolving and your way of business evolving into the next couple of years, and being a nurse and being a nurse practitioner, what do you see? What's the future there? What is it, something that you would like to see there? I'd love to hear something.
I really think that there's becoming a big shift in, a lot of the preventative side of medicine. I even see it at the government level. I know Medicare covers some physicians that have gone above and beyond and got approval for, let's say, treating patients with a vegan diet for, sorry, I'm going to shut the door here, treating them with a vegan diet for heart disease. And so I just think that there's definitely going to be a shift of more of the focus of, the prevention side, and then addressing things from all angles, like with nutrition and stuff, because pharmaceuticals can only take us so far, and they have a lot of side effects. And so I think, myself as a provider, I see that, there's other things people can do before they come to that point where you have to go in that direction. So I think there is going to be a lot of opportunity for more health and wellness focused practices, and, a lot of, nursing opportunities, I guess, in that realm.
I love it. Beautiful. That's a beautiful way to put it. I love it. So can we put COVID-19 for a moment in there? Because you're in the development.
Yeah.
Right? So what are you actually seeing, and where do you again see that going for the future, as well as how is it changing medical care? But I would love to have some of your experience of what you're actually seeing as well right now.
Sure. Yeah. And I would say we are on the very early side of COVID where I live, because I am in Western South Dakota. Actually, on the eastern side of the state is the biggest hotspot in the United States right now, with the Smithfield meat packing plant. They had over 700 cases there. And so I expect at some point, probably soon, that we may see it spread more to this side of our state. But at this point, we haven't had a lot of it, but I have seen enough to know that, it's something we need to take seriously. And again, I think the biggest thing is this is another aspect in our life where we have to do what we can control. And then there's things outside that we can't control. And I see that the same with that's part of what I love about health and wellness is, we have genetics and we have things that happen, but we also have things that we can do to react to them that is either going to help us or not help us. And so what I have seen, we've had a few cases here, and I just will say that it's not just old people. And so it's very important that even us young and healthy people, that we take it seriously. And again, we do our part to wash our hands, to eat healthy, to, do what they're recommending, just to limit the impact of this. I do think that it's going to change medicine after this, but I honestly don't know what it's going to be like. I try to think about in my head what that will be like, even, going to work and not putting on all that PPE, and how I will feel about that when I know that there could still be some cases circulating out there. It's just going to be a different way to think. We're just going to have to be more cautious. And then, like I said, we have to be kind of on our A game all the time with our own health and mental well-being and stuff, because I don't know that this will ever completely go away.
It's so right. You're right. We don't know at this point. It's all up in the air.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I want to kind of give you the last word here. If you have any kind of message, both for any kind of health, kind of general health, as well as other nurses that are also on this journey with us together, what would you say? Love to hear.
Yeah. So, I would say in my own life, one of the biggest things I've learned in the past few years with health and wellness and gut health and all of that is just the importance of taking care of ourselves first. We are caregivers. We take care of, patients. We take care of our family members. And, I kind of hit a point where I really needed to address that. And just real quick, I'll share this. So, I really found personally the importance of being proactive, because I ended up with a herniated disc and had to have surgery. And then I had some complications a couple months later, and it's kind of a long story, but I was diagnosed with transverse myelitis, which affects your spinal cord. And so I was hospitalized, and, a lot of people end up permanently paralyzed with this condition. And so, I'm 9 months out, and I'm, starting to run again, starting to bike again. And I don't think that I would have handled that the same way had I not started this, really, taking care of myself first and making my own health and wellness a priority, in addition to sharing that and advocating for other people to have health and wellness. So, that is probably my biggest passion, is to, encourage you to look at yourself first, and then to carry that out to what you would share with patients or other people that you interact with.
Beautiful. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're going to leave it at that, because that's a beautiful. If people want to get in touch with you, what's the best way to reach out? We're of course going to have some links down here below, but what's the best way to reach you?
I am on Facebook probably the most, and I just have a personal page, but you can reach out to me on there. It's Jackie Jensen Britton. I do have an Instagram, more business focused page where I share more recipes and resources, and that is Gut Feeling Health and Wellness. And so the best way to reach me. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, you're so welcome, and we'll put those links down below. Much love to you. Right now you are frontline provider and everything that's going on. Much safety for you as well, right, with everything that's going on. And
right.
Your kiddos, because you have kiddos as well.
Right.
Too, right? So
yes. Thank you so much.
You're doing an amazing job. So thank you for the interview. And again, guys, if you want to get in touch with Jackie, then please get her on a personal page. Look on Instagram. There's lots of ways you can connect me. I can connect you to her. So so thanks so much, Jackie. You are amazing.
And thank you. Okay. Bye.